All right, all right. I want to welcome everybody back. We took a week off. Now we back to Sports Fan Talk. I am your humble host, Big G.
It's your boy, Raider Mike.
And the young architect back at it again, man.
Yes, yes. Like I said, we took a week off last week. We got a little busy, but now we're back. So, a lot to get into tonight. First we're gonna talk a little MLB draft. Since we started the little sports show, we've always been talking about getting more brothers in the MLB, and it looks like MLB they might have been listening, man. You know what I mean? We don't have thousands of listeners, nothing like that, but we said they need to bring some soul back in the game, get some brothers back in the game, and in 2022, 4 of the first 5 picks, African American picks, man. Architect, run it down for us, man.
I remember I was actually kind of watched part of the MLB draft because I knew about one of the players that actually ended up going number 4. His name is Lamar Johnson. I knew coming out of I've been following. I think you showed me something about him about a year ago about him being one of the top shortstops, and I was just like, oh man, that'd be crazy if he sticks out. Because honestly, at that point in time, I didn't know whether they were gonna stick with baseball or not because it's not a lot of us in baseball right now. But to see that I think 4 out of the 5 top picks were African American outside of number 1 was Jackson Holiday. That was what's it called? It's Matt Holiday's son. So I was like, I figured that was gonna happen.
Jackson came from some good stock. His daddy was a 7-time All-Star.
So exactly. So I'm like, I figured he was gonna go number 1. But other than that, man, you look at 2 through 5, man. I mean, hey, they're all they all got some melanin to them. You feel what I'm saying? That speaks volumes to me, saying that there are black kids out there that still love the game of baseball, and especially growing up with you, baseball is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like baseball is always one of the things that we'd always do as when I was younger. We go to A's games. You know what I'm saying? Back then they had a couple of black people on the team. You know what I'm saying? But even looking down in this draft, like some of the prospects, not even just the ones that were taken, but some of the prospects that they were looking at, a few of them that I was looking at, they were all African American. Even Justin Crawford, it was Carl Crawford's son. He ended up going, I believe, 17th to the Phillies, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really exciting for me to see them get drafted. But as you know, there is a farm system in the MLB. So how long they stay down there versus when they get called up to the big leagues, whatever it is, blah, blah. Like, I'm excited to see what their future holds as far as them having like a long, bountiful career in the Major League Baseball.
Yeah. Well, let me run down some of the particulars real quick. You got the number 2 pick to the Diamondbacks was Drew Jones. Daddy was Andrew Jones that played for the Braves. Let's see. He is an outfielder. And as a junior, that man hit 445 as Player of the Year. Senior, he batted .570. And he had sign-in bonus of $8 million. Then you got Kumar Rocker. So I saw him pitch a couple of times for Vanderbilt. He's good. He got selected actually 10th overall in 2021, but he didn't sign. Then he got selected 3rd by the Rangers, and his father played in the NFL, Tracy Rocker, and he got a $5.2 million signing bonus. And then you already mentioned Termarr Johnson. He's 4th overall pick by the Pirates. And he signed for $7 million signing bonus. And I'm like, that's crazy. He got more money than Rocker got. Yeah, got a better agent, I guess, man. You had Elijah Green, who was a 5th overall pick to the Nats. He went to IMG Academy. So, all the athletes that go to IMG Academy for whatever sport, they're elite athletes. He signed for $6.5 million. So I think the signing bonus is being that fat, that will attract more players. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, it's a good thing, Raider Mike, what you got to say about it, man?
Well, it is a good thing. It's about time, though. I mean, I think they must have heard they've been hearing it, though, the Major League Baseball. They know they was wrong, though, because there are talented Black baseball players out there that's going from high school to college. I mean, who's in college, and they knew that, and I think they knew that they had to do something about it because the heat was on it was on everybody was on their back, because when was baseball the most exciting? When was baseball the number one pastime? Baseball was the number one pastime when we had some soul and putting butts in seats. And you know it, and I know it. When we used to go to them A's games, you go to them, watch Ricky Henderson or watch Barry Bonds. I mean, you got to watch players that people want to watch. Ken Griffey Jr., and then
ones they can relate to.
Yeah, once they all left, it just seemed like once they all disappeared, everybody disappeared, didn't it? It seemed like when they all retired, I was like, what the heck just happened? And we had the Upton boys, Justin Upton and his brother,
Yeah, BJ
Upton and Justin Upton. But what happened to them? They just totally disappeared, and then they got replaced. And then I was like, I wasn't tripping for a while because I wasn't watching baseball as much. But then when I started watching it, when you started telling me, and I said, how many percent? And then I started looking, I was like, wait a minute, it's a big problem right now. And they corrected it. What they did, Greg, they corrected a problem, a wrong, they righted a wrong that they just did. And it's a good thing because we need to be there, because we are the ones that have the swag. We bring the swag to the game that people want to go see. Nobody just want to just go see a baseball game. We want to see some swag, some stolen bases, somebody, getting the crowd involved. We don't have that no more. That, and I think that's what's missing from baseball, and why it went down so far, and football surpassed baseball that fast, and just baseball could never catch up to the NFL now. It would be a very, very tall task for them to catch up to the NFL or basketball, because the NFL, I mean, in NBA, and them too, they all the social media stuff, things that they get behind the players with, and they got all the culture in basketball, they got the culture in football. I mean, I think baseball it's a step in the right direction. Yeah. And but let's not hold our breaths too long. They got to be in the major leagues. They got to make it there, and I think that they can, and I know that they can make it.
What I'm saying? They all got pedigree, man, and they're all athletes.
Right, and they should make it. I'm talking about on the what is it? The major league 60-man roster? What is it? Or is it 50?
I think they got less than that.
No, it's a 45-man roster, right? Is it 45 or 40?
That sounds like a lot, man.
Is it a 40? No, it's about it. It's got to be. It ain't no 20. The 25-man roster has got to be about a 40.
It's a 40-man roster, if I'm not
mistaken.
Okay,
40-man roster. Okay, here we go. 40-man roster. I'm thinking about the 60-yard, the 60-yard sprint. It's 40. Okay, I'm thinking about the 60-yard sprint they have to run. Have the baseball thing, but yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, so it's 40-man roster. So they have to be on the 40-man roster and I know somebody's going to sometime soon.
Well, it's all about marketing. So I guarantee you, some of those players will come up with the quickness, man.
Oh, I know. You know how they want to save the season. They want to.
Oh shit! Watch Justin Crawford. Let Justin Crawford be decent. Carl Crawford's on.
Oh, he coming up. Well, maybe mid-season sometime. So you never know. You might see him by the All-Star break, or before. I hope that happens, and I think it's a good thing. And I stopped watching Major League Baseball because of this. And you know what I'm saying? Because I just felt like, hey, I ain't got no color lines. None of us do. But
only 7% of the league is African American, man. That's what I'm saying.
That was downright embarrassing and a tragedy. I'm like, wait a minute, you saying we only got that many percentage of black players that are good?
7%. God dang.
How did that ever happen? Man. But that's like a black player in hockey. There's more black players in hockey than it is in the major leagues. And no, really, it is. No, I'm just trying to tell you. I remember they had the black player on the Sharks that one time. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm saying some black player in hockey, and baseball ain't got no black people. Yeah, so that's all. But it's a good thing. You know what? I'm glad that it's happening, and it's a good thing. Now I'll watch. Maybe I will watch a few more games and go to the A's game. I don't know nobody no more, but Still gonna
Gotta we
go out
gotta
there.
go before they leave. They probably ain't gonna be here too much longer. Shoot.
Oh, I
Hey, you ain't
know. I
lying.
already heard about that buzz. But anyway, that's all I got to say on
Okay, it's a nice
Yeah,
way to
man.
start the show off, man. Like I said, I used to
Oh,
always
quick,
say, oh,
real quick,
go
real
ahead.
quick. Just to throw it out there, Elijah Green. Spring training has happened. Through 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 spring training, I heard looked at his stats real quick. That man batted 400.
Yeah, man. So
You know
I'm
what I'm
saying
saying?
some of
And then
these
you look at
brothers going.
Tamar Johnson. Tamar Johnson is basically batting 300. You know what I'm saying? I'll give us a shot, and we could produce because Tamar Johnson. I want to say he was one of the youngest in the draft. He's only 18. You know what I'm saying? So
Hey, we're gonna get
hey,
up in there, man.
be like Robin Yount. Shit, Robin Yount was like out of high school. Ken Griffey was out of
Ken
high school.
Griffey Jr. Shoot.
17.
It
mhm.
don't take long if you show you have the talent to play, man. You know what I
Oh
mean?
for sure.
You get up in there. So, like I was about to say, hell of a way to start it off, man. Like I used to always say before, put some brothers on the field. You know what I'm saying? It looks like a major league is going in that way, which is cool. Next up, hot topic of the sports world, Lamar Jackson. You know what I mean? There's what's going on with him to me is it's a tragedy at this point. You know what I mean? There's no way. I mean, let's just put it out there. There's no way a white quarterback would be going through this, man. It is what it is. And I understand. We could say, okay, they like dealing with their agents. They like dealing with the system, so to speak, as is. And he's an outlier in many ways. One, mom's his agent. Two, his skill is unlike any other ever in NFL history, really. I mean, you could say Michael Vick kind of, but I think
Nah, I wouldn't even say
he's a
that.
little different, man. But
Mm-hmm.
even Vic, Vic at his time, he was the highest paid quarterback when he signed his contract, the big one. So it's an outlier for a little bit, but man, I tell you what, we all know when Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow come up, they're breaking the bank. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
yeah.
It's gonna make what they wanted to pay Lamar look ridiculous, and then the whole racism topic's gonna come and all that, man. But that's my little rant, my intro or whatever. You know what I mean? Raider Mike, what you think about this subject, man?
Well, Lamar Jackson, see what to me, the Ravens kind of put him in a spot now. Because now they waited. I mean, look, it's kind of like waited. Everybody else got quarterbacks, and other people that don't have quarterbacks are drafting quarterbacks, right? So that's why they went out and put that out there to see if what he was worth, and see if anybody was going bite, bait on it. So they know that he ain't going. That is Lamar Jackson's choices to me is either he's going to play for the Ravens or he's going to sign it, whatever that tender that went that sign that free agent tag, get sign that and just sit out for the whole year and then wait till next year and go in the draft. But do you think he's gonna let 32 million sit on the franchise tag? I don't think so. I think he plays on that franchise tag and they work out a deal before training camp, because if not, if I was him, yeah, you hold out a little bit or something. I just feel that I don't know if his mom is his agent, what are they doing? He has got a skill set that no other has, and he should be paid for it. If he wants 235 million, okay, you don't want to give him 300 million. Give him, okay, Deshaun Watson at 231, give him 235 fully guaranteed, and he'll shut up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give him what he deserves, because ultimately, yeah, Joe Burrow, I got to give Joe Burrow credit. He's gonna get his money. He may get 300 million.
Yeah.
And fully guaranteed. I mean, he has gotten his team to Super Bowl, and he looks the part. Lamar Jackson is the part. It's not without Lamar Jackson, the Ravens are dog meat. You see how they play when he's injured. That's how valuable he is to that team. They built that whole offense around him. So they're not gonna be able to run that game, though. I just feel that it's wrong. I just felt like okay, yeah, he got a little injured last year, but what is his value out there on the market? They kind of messed him up a little bit, because ain't no other, they how they're going back for us. Oh, nobody wants to give money a fully guaranteed contract. Cleveland did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody is going to give it to him, either it's this year or next year. If he play on that tag, they're going to either sign him or they're going to lose. Bottom line, I'm surprised the Raiders, but it's too late now.
No, it ain't.
I was about to say, why?
One guy.
No, it ain't.
Well,
I give up two right now.
Too late now, but
no, because it's not an upgrade from Derek Carr. That's my whole thing. If it was an upgrade, Jimmy G was an upgrade. He can't throw the
I
deep
thought
ball.
you talking about Lamar Jackson not being an upgrade for Derek Carr.
Lamar
Wait
Jackson.
a minute now.
No, Lamar Jackson is an upgrade. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Jimmy G. Jimmy G, I'm taking him from. We've been winner. As he played with that superior defense with the 49ers. You're not going to play with that with us. So we're going to find out. But anyway, we talking about Lamar Jackson. So I think that Lamar Jackson deserves his money. And I think at some point this year, the Ravens are going to break down and give it to him. What's that? What is the owner name? Bersati? What's that owner name? Bashadi, yeah. Bashadi gonna have to. He gonna have to give him that money, man. He gonna have to give him that money. At least 235 million, fully guaranteed. If it's a 5-year deal, whatever it is, they gonna have to give it to him. Because if they don't, the Ravens.
Mike, that light that's directly behind you is causing a big glare on your computer, man.
I see.
So,
yeah. So I move over there.
There you go. It's a little bit better. Your head is blocking it a little bit.
but yeah, I just think that I really think that if his mom is his agent, she needs, I don't know, sometimes I think he should have gotten an agent, so that this would have probably been over, but he's doing something that they don't want him to do. And if he's going to pull it off though, now he got to go all out on it now. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Can't change now. He got to go 100 on this because he about to prove a point. And that's and this is good, but this is good. He just need to ride it out now because it's too late now. They talking about maybe you need to know. It's y'all trying to come in with the side stuff. Don't come in with the side stuff. It's too late. He already in deep on it. He ain't that far from breaking the bank on them. You know what I'm saying? So I think he needs to just stay patient, and he's gonna get what he want to get from them. And that's what I think. Because if you look at it, who teams does he fit the best right now? The Ravens. They're gonna pay him. They gotta pay him. They ain't got no choice. What you gonna do? They're gonna be screwed if say somebody signed him to a $400 million deal and he gone.
Everybody got a choice.
Yeah,
there's always choices.
Yeah, that's true.
Got cap space.
Yeah, but he wouldn't go. Well, they do. No. They could go after him if they wanted him. But I just think that nobody's biting right now. I mean, he's been out. The NFL, I don't know. There's some funny stuff going on with me because he should already. I mean, if anybody else with his superior talent, you would think somebody else would be trying to, go after him. And that's how I feel about it. Don't you think so? Don't you think he should? You think there's no team that's bold enough to go give up 2 first-round draft picks for MVP caliber quarterback? Huh?
I'll go in before you, architect. I'll give you my
Dallas can do it.
I wish we would. Shit. But this is my take on it, man. Of course, we know he signed a non-exclusive, or he didn't sign it, but they placed a non-exclusive tag on him for $32 million. If they had gave him the all-out tag where nobody could touch him, that would have been $45 million. So they're playing the business game. So they're like, okay,
know what they're doing.
So technically he can go out there, he can negotiate with other teams and, see what they can get. And the Ravens have a chance to match the offer. And there was a rumor out there, I don't know if it's true or not, that the Titans were looking to, try to see if he could pique their interest. And supposedly they're willing to give $255 guaranteed. But that's in the rumor mill. I don't know if that's true or not. But for me, I just know I hope this all plays out because, for one, it's already showed collusion. Because for teams to come out like Atlanta and for Carolina and who else? The Commanders and even the Raiders all come out and be like, oh, we don't want him. They put it out there already. Like, we're not going to sign him. We're going to have no interest. So I'm like, for the Falcons, you mean to tell me you'd rather have Desmond Ritter as your quarterback than Lamar Jackson? For the Panthers, you'd rather have freaking Matt Corral or PJ Walker, and then you go to who the Commanders have? Sam Howell? You'd rather have
How?
Sam Howell. You know what I'm saying? It's
You know
just-
what's crazy? Speaking of, real quick, the Atlanta went to go sign Taylor Heineke.
Yeah, I just did that.
saw that.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm just like, here you have a dude. We know he won the MVP. We know his record is 49-20 in the league. But man, the dude, he got pedigree. He won the Heisman too. It's like that's not even on the table. Heisman winner, NFL is a winner. You know what I mean? And once this all plays out to the end, it's going to show the systematic racism that's this. It's just embedded in the league. You don't have to try to be racist or come out and show your face that you are, but it's embedded in the system because they're giving every excuse for him not to, for them to say why he can't be signed or why he won't be signed, but they're going to bring every excuse in the world for why Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow can be signed. Especially, I'm waiting to see that Justin Herbert one.
That
So
Justin
like,
Herbert one's gonna be crazy.
Because you can't quantify, you can't say, like, you know, this with Burrow, you could be like, well, he got to a Super Bowl. Then he got to a, you know, with a subpar line. Then he got back to the playoffs again. You know what I mean? And he damn near beat Kansas City again. You know what I'm saying? So you can say, I mean, you know, the eye test. We all look at Burrow. To me, it's Mahomes and Burrow. I mean, everybody's kind of in line with that. But Lamar's right there. You know, he's right underneath. You know what I mean? So I hope it all plays out. I want to see every excuse they come up with for not signing them and all that type of stuff, and every excuse they come up with for giving Herbert his money. So, what do you think, Architect?
So I'm gonna start out like this, right? My initial thought was, is he asking for too much? 300 million. I'm just gonna throw out a number. I'm gonna say if Deshaun got 230 fully guaranteed, Lamar is at least asking for 300 fully guaranteed, right? And I was like, is he asking for too much? Then I went back and I looked at the numbers. Outside of his rookie season, his second season in the NFL, they want to talk about he can't pass the ball. He led the league in touchdown passes with 36. He only threw 6 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? You want to look at it then. If you want to look at Lamar Jackson as a whole, his statistical worst season was 2021. He went 7-5. He had 16 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. But then you got to look at it too. He's never had a true number one wide receiver. You want to talk about people having weapons all around them. You want to talk about the Josh Allens. They went to go get Stephon Diggs. Joe Burrow, they drafted Jamar Chase over picking the offensive lineman. Remember, that was a big controversy. You want to talk about Justin Herbert. He's had Keenan Allen his entire career. Patrick Mahomes had Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce. You want to talk about a man who is literally got it out the mud. You look at Lamar Jackson. You even look at Deshaun Watson, who, by all means, the Texans were terrible. You know what I'm saying? He led the league and all that, but Deshaun Watson doesn't have an MVP. Deshaun Watson, he did beat Pat Mahomes. No, he almost beat Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes came back and, tapped them. Remember, they were down, whatever. But at the end of the day, you look at Lamar Jackson, you look at somebody who's only 25 years old, who, yeah, he has been banged up. Let's give him that. He has been banged up. But why has he been banged up? He's been banged up because the Ravens refuse to put real weapons around him, and they want to continue to run him down the drain. Right now, I'm looking at Lamar Jackson with the Ravens as how Robert Griffin III was with Washington. They utilize his legs so much. They want to give him, we can do all these runs and do this and that, blah blah blah, and we have a solid defense. No, you want to give Lamar Jackson? I get it. You may not want to pay Lamar Jackson 300. Whatever. Pay him 240. Pay him 235. For all I care, pay him 231 fully guaranteed. But that's someone you pay. That is literally the catalyst to your entire offense. And for someone that you can put, and I wholeheartedly feel this way, you can put Lamar Jackson in any situation. You can put Lamar Jackson with Kansas City. I said this during the Super Bowl, and I remember talking to you about this. You put Lamar Jackson in Philly, they might have won the Super Bowl. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lamar Jackson is one of, if not the most dynamic player that I have ever seen personally. And I've been watching football seriously since I would say 2010. Even earlier on, watching here and there with Michael Vick and stuff like that. And I've seen Michael Vick do some crazy stuff. But I've never seen anybody do what Lamar Jackson can do as far as someone who can sling that rock. He can spin it like he can spin it. He has a spiral like Aaron Rodgers, and he has legs better than Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? You give him the opportunity, you give him the offensive line, you give him a real number one. You put Lamar Jackson in Buffalo, they probably in the Super Bowl. That's all I'm saying. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? I'll put Lamar Jackson over Josh Allen because I think Josh Allen is a product of his weapons, not a product of him being who he is. But all in all, man, I honestly, Lamar Jackson, I don't care that he doesn't have an agent because there have been plenty of players who haven't had an agent and got paid, i.e. Larry Fitzgerald, i.e. DeAndre Hopkins. Like, granted, they're receivers, but at the end of the day, not everybody's going to be like a Tom Brady and take a pay cut. Somebody gave Pat Mahomes, the Chiefs gave Pat Mahomes $500,000 and guaranteed him what, 200-something million? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, man, as far as, this is cold, this is real cold, but just because he's dark skinned, I get it. Like, Pat Mahomes, he the right skin tone. Deshaun, he horny, but he about 3 shades lighter. Me and Deshaun damn near the same skin tone. Shit. Lamar, you know what I'm saying? He a Florida boy. He hang out with Kodak Black because they were friends back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you said, the systemic racism is showing immensely right now because at the end of the day, why wouldn't you want to give someone who won an MVP, who, if I'm not mistaken, is the youngest MVP at 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken, right? Someone who you can doubt his passing, whatever. But if you look at his MVP season, he has the numbers. So obviously he has the talent to do so. Someone who also is somewhat selfless because at the end of the day, they took him 32nd overall. And what did he say? I'm a Raven. I want to win a Super Bowl. He has the heart. He has that factor. He has that whatever. When you look at like a Deshaun Watson, who was a winner in college in Clemson, you look at some of Deshaun Watson, or not Deshaun Watson, you should get some of Lamar Jackson's highlights. I mean, the man would literally carry the team to the damn playoff. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. Me personally, any team that wouldn't be willing to give up 2 first-round picks, at least, who needs a quarterback, they're dumb. Because saying that Lamar Jackson couldn't fit in any system just because he can use his legs, just because he is one of the fastest players in the league, that's dumb. That's dumb. Because if you look at it, let's just say it like this: if you look at it, you saw what Andy Reid did with Michael Vick, right? And that's what Michael Vick coming off of like all the stuff that he had going on. You saw what Andy Reid did with Michael Vick. So saying that somebody who primarily quote unquote runs the ball is a run first quarterback, which really Lamar Jackson isn't. That's just the system that he's been put in. That's dumb. Pay that man. Give him his respect.
Yeah, and right now the rubber hasn't met the road yet. You know what I mean? There's still time for different things to go on as far as like, you know, they could play the game of chicken. You know what I mean? See who gives up first or who jumps out the way of the car first. You know what I'm saying? But at some point later on in the year, when you get closer to July and August, that's when some things are going to have to be done. Words are going to have to be said. Some decisions are going to have to be made. And then during that time, that's what we'll find out. You know, right now, I hope Lamar is just working out, getting his stuff together and, you know, ready to come back. You know what I mean? We shall see. You know?
That'd been nice if Tomlin from Pittsburgh gave away them first 2 draft picks. Mike Tomlin would know what to do with him.
Mike Tomlin don't want no black quarterback.
Well, he can't. Well, shoot, Mike Tomlin can't even pick his own
his own assistants.
Can't even pick his own assistants. So it's time. But if they wasn't, you don't think he would?
I think Lamar would look good. I think Lamar would be good in the Pittsburgh, to be
Would
honest.
He
because
would, but
Like
you
I
know the
said,
Steelers are notoriously cheap though. They ain't paying
oh,
nobody.
100%. They ain't
yeah,
paying
that's
nobody,
what I'm
man.
saying. They're not gonna pay that much. Shoot, they say we can't give them that much.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Shit. Well, next up, we got the notorious John Wick, John Morant. You know what I'm saying? We gotta talk about this young man. You know what I mean? There's some things going on with this brother. You know, and Raider Mike, man. I need you to give me some words on this cat. What's going on with Ja, man?
Well, we know the NBA gave him that 8-game suspension. You know, they don't want him to miss playoffs, but they and they want him to getting therapy right now. And
Nah, therapy's over. He already
yeah,
did it.
therapy over. Well, dang, that was a quick therapy. Well, shit,
Yeah,
dang.
he's supposed to
But
come back tomorrow. Tomorrow he's eligible to play.
well, they don't see. This is what I'm talking about. See, I mean, he's a superstar, and if you got, I knew that. See, I knew that was gonna happen though. I knew that he was gonna be playing. See, I didn't know that part. I thought that he was in therapy and he was working on himself. And I hope that he really is, and understanding that he got to leave that lifestyle behind him. You know, the trying to be the thug life, the street life. He got to leave that stuff behind him. I hope he has it behind him now. I hope he's woken up and really putting his best foot forward and trying to do what he needs to do. He's a basketball player. You're not a thug. You're not a hot boy. You ain't a gunslinger. You're not a pistol toting gangster. You know, he's just not that. He's a basketball player, and I think he just needs to just concentrate on playing basketball and putting God first and family and playing basketball. I just think that's all he needs to do. You ain't have nothing to prove to anybody. I think these players and him, they tend to think they have to prove something to everybody, and he doesn't have anything to prove. The only thing he needs to prove that the Memphis Grizzlies can win championship. That's all he needs to prove to me. He doesn't need to prove any street person. Oh, I can tote a gun. I can be on YouTube. Yeah, I'm toting a gun. You got to do all of that because look what it just got you. You know, he's lucky he'd already got that big contract and he's signed in. He's sworn in. They ain't finna do nothing right now, but don't let him think 1 minute that they can't take it from you, because they will if you continue to do the things. You know that, Greg, as well as I know, they'll take it. They have taken from players,
Yep.
know the players they took them from, and I just hope that this is a good lesson for him. And I hope he really learned his lesson and not just be BSing around with it. Because the thing is, us as Afro-Americans, we always get that label.
That man said Afro.
Afro-Americans.
American.
Americans, you know what I mean. But we're, we get that label of getting something and not knowing how to act, and not knowing how to conduct ourselves. And it's always us. And we need to learn how to conduct ourselves instead of doing the things that these players are doing, what Ja Morant just did. We just need to learn how to do that. And because it's kind of embarrassing sometimes. We was like, why is it always us? And then them racist people in the background saying that's why I shouldn't have gave that nigger boy and that, that's in the background. But they say look what we give them, look what they do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the truth. I just wish that we could just stay out the streets with it and just stay on the court with it. You know what I'm saying? And I think, to me, that's my personal feeling. I like the guy. He's a great basketball player. He's a great talent. You know what I'm saying? But he needs to be a greater leader for his people than being what he just did. Because you gotta. I mean, we're not gonna say all athletes are supposed to be role models. Your parents are really supposed to be your role models, but some kids look up to you, and you need to really, get it together. And I think because there are kids that look up to him, and there's probably some adults, but I think that we need to hold ourselves to higher standards. I mean, as of our people, we just really do, because it ain't just because we ain't never had nothing. Don't mean like we have to act like it, and that's part of it. Some of these players never had nothing, so they don't know how to act. But maybe they need to have them in MBA classes for them rookies and those, for those players that first come in, somebody to really give them a reality check of all of this, and help them. So this won't happen to the next young superstar that comes in, and like the Brandon Miller thing, shoot, he'll be coming in next year. You know what I'm saying? The Alabama guy,
Yeah.
We just want to, that's my spin on it. I mean, I just pray for him that but I didn't know that's what you just told me. But I mean, what is the purpose? If you really you need a little bit more therapy than that, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think you need more.
This is the thing, man. All this money is going to do is make you more of what you want to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you are a dude like Deshaun Watson, he was horny. He was able to bang as many chicks as he want to because he had the money to do it. If you're a cheater, you know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan had like 20 cell phones. You know what I mean?
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to be, whatever you are, the money's going to allow you to be just that. That's the thing. You know what I mean? The thing with him, maybe he always wanted to be a tough guy. You know what I mean? Always wanted to be. Obviously, I think he ain't no damn gangster. You know what I'm saying? He knows that. But being able to, we watched the rap videos growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he looking at the NBA young boys and all that. Like, he want to show that he got a gun. You know what I mean? I don't think he's a guy who intends to go out there and do bodily harm, like as far as, put somebody down in the dirt type thing. You know what I mean? But he just we've seen it before, man. People become something that they might not necessarily be. Even him in his interview with Jalen Rose, he said he was pretending to be something that he's not. And for him to say that, that's big. But also, I hope he believes it for real. I hope he's not just saying what he thinks people wants to hear. Because, like I was saying, man checked into therapy, he checked into a counseling facility. He was there less than a week, man, and he was out. And then in all his interview, he's talked about these changes he's going to make, but he never said he's going to change the people around him who are, enabling him to do the things that he's doing. So I don't know. This is a cycle. He's the guy this time. Luckily, no one got seriously hurt in his actions. Next up, the next round of dudes that get the money, it's gonna continue, man. And it's not just us. Our stuff gets put in the public like that, but it's white cats doing all types of crazy stuff too, man. You know what I mean?
Why don't they put them? They don't put nobody else.
And that white football player for the Seahawks beat the shit out of his black girlfriend, man. And you barely heard anything about that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
I heard something about it, but I didn't hear nothing else stuff.
So I'm saying it goes on across the board, but I said we the coffee, we the straw that stirs the drink, man. So you know what I'm saying? It's always gonna come back. The black dude doing this, black dude doing that. That's what happens, man. Makes for good, good media. We're the cannon fodder of this game. It always could be something said about us, but hopefully, he'll be all right, man. He lost $670,000 in salary and a Powerade endorsement deal. So hopefully, that'll be it. Still got his Nike deal. Nike was like, hey, we're gonna work with him. Gonna make sure he's all right and things go well.
Hey, Nike kept Jordan around when he was gambling and shit. So, come on.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like I said, he got caught. Like he met with Adam Silver and everything. So the fact that he met with Adam Silver, he did less than a week. Nike didn't pull out. Now someone has told him, like, look, you're the chosen one for the future of the league. Hopefully he learned his lesson and he's gonna push forward. And like you said, Ray and Mike, they're like, we need this boy back in time for the playoffs, man. Only suspended 8 games on camera with a gun, even though supposedly it wasn't his gun. They did their investigation, said it wasn't his. Whatever, man. You know what I mean? Normally that's like a 50 game, you know what I mean? I don't know. How many games did they give Gilbert Arenas? You know what I'm saying?
I'll look it up right now. Because I was going to talk about that.
I remember Arenas got suspended. I remember
for
that.
the rest of the season, man. Wasn't it?
For the rest of the season.
Him and Critton did. They got suspended for a cool little minute behind a gun, man.
Right.
So,
But shit, that fool brought it to the locker room though.
that's what I'm saying. He put it on the table, pointed. He's like, "Hey, what you want to do now?"
He said it's in the locker. He said it's in the locker with a fifth of vodka.
And you can keep looking it up, architect, but you up
He got a
next.
50-game suspension.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the whole,
You know what I'm saying? That's what they Jaws the golden boy. So hopefully, because he's getting off light. You know what I mean? When cats get off light, generally they don't learn a lesson. I hope he does. You know what I mean? So what you got on it, architect? No, I rambled for a minute.
Well, first things first, I want to say it like this. John Morant, if I'm not mistaken, I know he's younger than me. John Morant
22.
John Morant is 23 years old.
23.
He's a year older than my youngest brother. He needs to get it together. Because simple and plain, I know what Charles Barkley said back in the day, I ain't nobody's damn role model. But at the end of the day, as a star NBA player, as a star black man in America, kids look up to you, especially black kids, little black kids, man. I don't know.
Always a role model, man.
Yeah.
That's
I don't know anybody in his inner circle. I don't know how he moves. But I know I can read body language. He ain't really like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain dudes. Like, I get it. You can go to the prep schools and people have all these old pictures of you, and they're like, you're all smiley and doing all this. But at the end of the day, people don't really know you. But if you can read body language, at the end of the day, John Morant, he's not really like that. And when I found that out, honestly, was that night when Shannon Sharp was about ready to fight every single one of them. John Morant was behind. That's when John Morant was behind Steven Adams. Like, what is this dude talking about? You know what I mean? Ja, I get it. You in Memphis. Memphis is one of the hottest cities when it comes to hip hop right now. If I'm not mistaken, one of the rappers that I actually listen to frequently, actually a couple of them, but I'm gonna go off the top. NLE Choppa and Moneybag Yo, two dudes that I know that go to Memphis Grizzly games frequently. At least NLE Choppa, he walked them out for one of their games last year. I get it. That city, you're young, you're gonna adapt to certain things that are around that city. But at the end of the day, and excuse my language, you're a good fucking dude. Like, you're a good dude. You know what I mean? I get it. Your daddy, he looked like Usher. He want to walk around and be like, "Oh yeah, what's up? Oh, cool."
He said your daddy looked like Usher.
He do. But no, like for real, on some real stuff. Like, John, like, get it together, man. Because at the end of the day, you can be as hard as you want, but you're gonna be out the league. All the millions, you're gonna be on one of them. I remember growing up, I saw there was plenty of like not 30 for 30s, but they did little specials on like NFL and NBA players who went broke. You're gonna be on one of those. You know what I mean? Also, I wonder, like, I want to know where all this came from. Like, but then, like I said, I did my research. It's the city. It's Memphis. You know what I'm saying? It's the people that whoever leads the culture. That's what's gonna ride, especially for young kids, because we're all young, we're impressionable. We like to follow trends and whatever, do what we need to do. That's just what it is. Some of us don't do that. Some of us do. I'm not singling anybody out in particular, but Ja seems the one right now. Ja seems like the one who feels like he needs to fit in no matter where he goes. So he's going to do what he needs to do in order to fit in. Also, I'm going to talk about this because it was funny to me. There was dudes roasting him on Instagram, like real. I don't know if there's real hood dudes, but it was dudes that was like, bro, I know you didn't do all that just to flash a little ass piece. Who's you going? There's like who you beefing with? Elementary schoolers, like, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, people, you think you may get in respect, but there are still people out there who may or may not be tougher than you, harder than you, however you want to put it. There are people out there who are like clowning you because at the end of the day, like, bro, you got all this money. What the hell you need to do this for? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. And quite honestly, I mean, like you said, 8-game suspension, that wasn't nothing. Gilbert Arenas, granted, the other dude that was involved with Gilbert Arenas, he was really crazy. He ended
Jarvis
up
Crittenden.
Yeah, Jarvis Crittenden, he ended up doing some stuff and doing some time or whatever.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Gilbert, like, if there's anybody that should give him advice, which I'm almost positive he did on his own podcast, was Gilbert Arenas. He was like, bruh, they got him for 50 games. You know what I'm saying? Like they tried to make a whole, like, what's it called, an example out of Gilbert. So if you ain't sit there and look and see what happened to Gilbert, and you still want to do what you want to do, then by all means, within the next 5 years, you will be out of the league. I don't care how good you are in basketball. I don't care what you can. I don't care how high you can jump. You know what I'm saying? You will be out of the league because at the end of the day, there is always going to be somebody who can jump higher and run faster. That's just fact. And truth be told, if you saw anything last year, Memphis plays better without
you. Yeah, that was
the
thing too.
Let's just be real, John. Get it together, man. Get it together. You're only 23. It's not too late. Like you said, he only did less than a week in rehab. I don't believe that changed anything. That whole thing of him talking to Jalen Rose, I don't believe a word that came out of his mouth. I need to see actions. I just do.
He'll be all right, man. He's gonna be.
I think so. I hope
because he's not really
that.
He's not really that bad cat.
He's not. He's a good dude. He needs to act like a good dude. Like I'm just saying, like I'm sure, and I'm gonna end it off with this. I'm sure you, even me, we've all grown up with dudes who were like that. You know what I'm saying? And whether you had something going for you or they just didn't see it in you, the dudes who were like that were like the real ones. Were like, nah, bro, you're not supposed to do this. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, like go off somewhere. Go do what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, even I have friends who are like some couple of years older than me who, you know what I'm saying, they do what they do, whatever. And they're like, oh, bro, you never need to be around this. You know what I'm saying? We could be cool, whatever. But when I'm doing my thing, you go ahead, you go the other way. Because this ain't for you. God doesn't have that in his circle. God doesn't. He needs to just do like a whole cleanse of like his inner circle, his outer circle, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying?
He needs to just take a freaking page out of the Huey Lewis in the News freaking playbook. They had a song back in the 80s called "It's Hip to Be Square," man. You know what I'm saying? Just go on and be your little square self, be cool, man. Cats, real dudes respect that. You know what I'm saying? If you could embrace who you are, stand on what you stand on as a man, cats are respected. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Hopefully that cat will learn his lesson. Meanwhile, we're about to move on to NFL free agency, the big signing saw going on around the league, and also who's not signed and what could be some impact signings coming up. I'm gonna start this off with you, Raider Mike. You know what I mean? I know you be itching and scratching to talk some Raider talk, man. You guys signed those sweet Jimmy.
He pulled out the book.
Brought out an almanac.
Notebook.
He brought out an almanac for this subject.
Yes, sir.
Oh
no.
Well, we know what we did, but then first, let's say we got the Jimmy Garoppolo. We signed him with a 3 year, 6-7, whatever million deal, 34 million guaranteed, whatever. I mean, I just felt like if you was gonna do that, you might as well have just kept what you had and just drafted a quarterback and moved on after the quarterback was ready to play, to me, because I understand he is one with the 49ers, but he had a superior defense behind him over there. We have not built a superior defense. We haven't had a superior defense since a 2-14 season. What makes you think we're gonna build that defense that fast? And that we got Jacoby Myers, and that's supposed to be why we traded Waller. How do we get better? by getting Jimmy G, trading Waller. I don't care if he missed 20 games the last 2 years. I get that. But I understand why they did it, because maybe he was holding out on us. And I don't know what Waller was doing, but it is what it is. He's gone now. So, but the signing of Jimmy Garoppolo, is it a good thing? I don't know. We're going to find out, though. I mean, I wasn't happy about it, because I was like, well, we didn't upgrade. If we're going to do that, we got to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's for a year or 2 years, or whatever it was. I don't care what the asking price was for Aaron Rodgers. If you was going to upgrade, there's the upgrade. If you wasn't going to upgrade the quarterback and then you let Stidham walk away to Denver, you might as well have kept what you had for at least a year. You draft your quarterback and kept what you had, who can throw the deep ball, in for another year or whatever, and then start the rookie. And then let's just, you know what I'm saying? Let's start from scratch now. If we ain't getting nothing with him, okay, now let's start from scratch now. You're going to teach this other dude, this rookie, and he going to take your spot. You know what I'm saying? I just felt, man, I could talk all and on about it. You know that, but I don't know what direction we're going. I mean, Jimmy G is we know he's just a quick fix for now until he's there to groom the rookie quarterback they're going to draft. Because otherwise, if they wasn't drafting a quarterback, they would have kept Stidham. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how I feel about it. We ain't got another quarterback right now, so we got to separate that Garber dude. He's a practice squad guy. He's not
Garber. Man,
he's from Cal. Dude from Cal.
Yeah, he went to Cal. Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? I ain't saying he ain't gonna be the quarterback. They're drafting a quarterback to replace Jimmy G, and he's only as good as his last snap, because he might not play. I don't know if he'll finish a whole season. He has not finished a whole season, and I don't know how long. And that rookie will be playing sooner versus later.
2019.
I just think that, I mean, we're getting rid of Waller. That was, to me, that was dumb. I mean, you got what tight ends we have left. We got a Homestead dude, and I ain't never seen number 80. I've seen him play like maybe a handful of snaps. They must gonna draft it. Either that or you're using that draft pick. Like I said, the Raiders are using that draft pick to move up in the draft. This is why they got rid of Waller. But the Jimmy G signing was just that's a safe pickup. He knows the system. He knows the coach. He's reunited with his offensive coordinator and all of that. We know that. But can it work? It can work. But that defense, we have to have a good defense with Jimmy G. He's not the gunslinger. Is he going to throw for 400 yards in a game, 500 yards a game if we need? I don't know. He got the weapons to do it, but can he really do it, though? You know, minus Waller, that was just the X. You know, that you got the X factor in Adams, but you had that stud missile in Waller. You know, we done got rid of the stud missile now. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know he didn't play for 2 years. I get that. And maybe he kind of like bullshitted us a little bit, because I listened to what Raider Lady 19 said. It made perfectly good sense. I mean, she be bold with it, but she was perfectly. I thought about it for a little while, and I said, you know what? She's absolutely right. You know, I mean, she was right though. For what she said, she was right. But in my eyes, you know, I still like, let's give him one more year. But anyway, the free agency was good. Gesicki went to the Patriots. Like, we knew that was going. You guys got your Brandon, what's his name? The Brandon Cooks dude, and then the Alan Lazard. What did he do? 4-year, $44 million with the Jets. Yeah. And you know, I think, I mean, will that work? I mean, you know, Aaron Rodgers going there. I don't care what they say. They're gonna iron it out, work it out. He going there. That's what he want to do. They want to unload him, and Jordan Love's gonna start his he's going to start his quarterbacking career this year with the Packers. Then that's just really, they did it to Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers knew he wasn't no different. They was going to do it to him anyway. Yeah, that's how Green Bay do it. That's how they do things. They get rid of you while they can get something for you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they do it.
I know. Well, shoot. Let's see what Architect got on it, man. Some of his little free agent moves.
Okay. The Browns, or no, not the Browns. Orlando Brown who was formerly with Kansas City, who before that was with the Ravens. He signed with Cincinnati, which, you know, if you know Orlando Jr. son, left tackle. That shores up Cincinnati's offensive line, which is honestly their biggest weakness. Like I said, I want to say Joe Burrow was one of the more stacked quarterbacks in the league last year, if not the most. Juju signed to the Patriots for, if I'm not mistaken, the same deal that Jacoby Myers was asking for from the Pats before he signed with the Raiders. 3 years, $33 million. I saw that on Twitter. Jacoby Myers was just like, wow. That's literally the same thing he was asking for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
He was
just
like,
they didn't want him.
yeah, but if you look at it, Jacoby Myers was coming off a career year. Darius Slay, everybody thought he was going to leave the Eagles. They said, nope, we got you. They re-signed him. Washington signed Jacoby Brissett to give Sam Howell some competition, which, I'm being
I thought the
honest,
Browns signed him. I signed it. I thought the Browns signed him.
Who, Jacoby? No,
Yeah.
Washington did.
Okay.
Seen that.
I think honestly, I think Jacoby's going to end up being the starter. I think for the next few years, I think Washington's going to be in like a quarterback carousel. The Saints signing Jamal Williams from the Lions to a 3-year deal. I think with everything
Did they
going on,
re-sign Jameis too?
yes, they did. And Jameis said he loves the city. That's why he wanted to re-sign. He loves the city. He loves the people. He loves the culture. Understandable. Granted, Derek Carr, he has been very healthy, but barring injury, if they needed a backup, Jameis can't start. He could have went somewhere and started, I'm sure. But I get it. You love where you love, and you want to do what you want to do. But back to the Jamal Williams signing. I think they did that with everything looming with Alvin Kamara. I think he's going to be there for the season, but at the end of the day, if he gets in trouble or anything, especially with what happened at the Pro Bowl last season or whatever, you have a solid backup. Baker Mayfield to the Bucks. That doesn't surprise me. I think he's going to end up being QB1. I'm not a big believer in Baker Mayfield, but at the end of the day, I mean, the Bucks needed a quarterback. They needed somebody to replace Tom Brady. And
is it a 1-year deal?
Is it a 1-year deal? I'm not even sure, to be honest. Let me look.
They signed him to a 1-year deal, man.
So like a prove it deal type of thing.
Sign him to a day-by-day deal.
Man, yeah, I don't even know his contract. Shit.
It's a 1-year deal though.
It's a 1-year deal? Okay, well, hey, maybe they'll try and get what's that boy from Texas? Quinn Ewers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Or Caleb. Fucking hey, your boys. They've been making moves.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that to you. All I'm gonna say is y'all been making moves. I'm gonna leave that to you. Man, obviously I'm gonna talk about the Raiders. Cool, they got Jimmy G, they got a couple of offensive pieces. Why the hell haven't they made any moves on the defensive side outside of Marcus Epps, who was a part of a Super Bowl team that was in the Super Bowl? But like, let's just be real. The Raiders need to make some real moves. All in all, free agency hasn't been anything too crazy. I mean, if you look at it, Arizona, they've made a couple of changes to their offensive line. Atlanta, they have a bunch of cap space. I don't know why they went after Taylor Heineke. They did resign their basically all-pro offensive lineman in Chris Lindstrom. Baltimore didn't do anything. Buffalo, I think they signed Jordan Poyer back.
2-year deal.
Carolina didn't do anything crazy. Carolina did sign Adam Thielen today. Good for them. I guess that gives them like a number one for now, whoever they're going to get at quarterback.
You see how Justin Jefferson just came in here and took over.
Yeah, so yeah, I figured Adam Thielen was going to be gone. You look at Cleveland, I think their big signing was Juan Thornhill from Kansas City. Cowboys. Like I said, I'm gonna leave that to you,
You know who they got.
OG. Denver signing Mike McGlinchey from the Niners to try and shore up that line for Russell Wilson. Uh, They signed Samaje Perine. I mean, no big signings yet. I didn't know the Texans signed Jimmy Ward and Robert Woods. I don't think that's going to do anything crazy.
Robert Woods.
Yeah, they signed Robert Woods. Jacksonville, no.
They signed
Kansas City. They lost Orlando Brown, but they got Jawan Taylor from Jacksonville. You know what I mean? 4 years, $80 million. I mean, hey, that's to shore up. What's his name? Patty Mahomes, left side.
Well, shoot, they just had that in old boy.
Miami Dolphins, man. Miami Dolphins getting Jalen Ramsey. I mean, hey, you look at it. Byron Jones obviously isn't what he used to be. You know what I'm saying? You get Jalen Ramsey for basically a steal. I get it. He may not have had the best year last year, but he's still Jalen Ramsey. He still can guard your number one. Shit, man. I think that's going to be good for their defensive side because they already had a solid defense. You had someone who can guard the number one, who can follow in any and everywhere. I think that's going to be good. Let's see who else. Daniel Jones. This was what I forgot to bring up during the whole Lamar Jackson scene. Daniel Jones got 4 years, $160 million. In what right mind does Daniel Jones deserve $160 million? I don't know why or what the hell the Giants are thinking. In my opinion, I would have signed. I would have rather gave Saquon that. Saquon only plays 6 games a year. So, but more power to the Giants. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. The New York Jets, they're blessing Aaron Rodgers with his wish list. The last thing that they have to do, I think, is get Odell or try and get Odell. We'll see if that happens, but I think Odell's going to end up in New York. Niners, they got Javon Hargrave, which, hey, good on them. That solidifies their defense more. I don't know who the hell their quarterback's going to be. They got Sam Darnold. Who, if I'm not mistaken, Sam Darnold he's a Cali dude, right? I know he went to USC, but he's from Cali, right? So he stays home.
Lawrence ain't ready. That's why they did that.
Gino got paid. Good on him. Other than that, I really don't have nothing. Oh, and my last one I have to say. Deron Payne from Washington got 4 years, $90 million. I am elated for him because, one, he's a solid interior defender, and two, I don't know anybody else who's going to give him that money besides Washington. So good on him for getting paid. But other than that, there hasn't been any crazy things going on as far as free agency yet. Once Aaron Rodgers gets confirmed, then we can talk about it.
Yes. About to say, since you two took up all the time on that, I will just say we signed Van Der Esch, we cut Zeke, and we signed Brandon Cooks. And I'm cool with that. With that said, that is going to wrap us up for this week. Let everybody sign off.
You didn't say nothing about Stephon Gilmore.
It's cool. And with that, I'm going to let everybody sign off.
Damn. You so confident. Oh, no, shoot. Greg got cocky on us. But anyway. Got cocky on us. This your boy Raider Mike signing off, and that's why the Eagles signed Slay. Trying to keep up with the boys.
It's your boy, Architect, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share it wherever you can. And I'll see y'all next week.
Yes. Once again, Big G signing off for the week. Hopefully you join us again next week. Remember, like,